do, do, do. Hey, Instagram, it's me, T from the Pattersons, taking the train to Tibet. Tiny bit of thing here. Look, there seem to be some people have listening problems, or you can't adjust your volume. Here's the thing. I go directly live right now. The people who see me live, they wave. Maybe they can hear me, maybe they can't. I don't know, right? And then I post to, I do a transfer thing, and I post to my YouTube. Okay? Then the YouTube picks up. Well, don't worry about the other thing like that. So when I check, back with my Instagram, it's for me here. It's fine. I mean, I hear fine. When it's posted, when I do the transfer, it also puts it in my something like that, and I check that, and it's fine, right? And when I do the YouTube, I take that, it's fine. So on my end, it's fine. Okay, no. So I have to figure out, if I send it to you through WhatsApp, then tell me if it's a problem. Some people have said this. Sometimes, I don't know, right? And if you get this through the live, well, then it's live. Like if you're waving, I guess you're here, right? But if you then get the repeat, when it comes, then send a little note. You're fine. Mic levels are low. So my external mic that I can use, I left in South Africa. I'm in India right now. Problem. So I'm here in India, so I'm going to check some external mics here sooner or later this week. We'll see what happens. Let's see what happens. I do have a DJI, but that records to the thing, and I have to figure out, can I use it directly? So that's going to be a task. So we'll see what happens with that. I'll somehow get YouTube tutorial. Okay, that's enough of that. One last thing on the Drakey. I forgot to tell you. Now again, if you didn't grow up in the culture, I told a story one time that there was a big fight in my neighborhood. I was involved. I was like whatever, and it was one of those things where with Patterson projects where we started out just me and him fighting. It was across from junior high school 149, my junior high school, and we was over by the liquor store. It was a friend. We were in the middle of the street, a little small street. Then we finally got to the yard. Then finally got this thing in cage. By the time we got this, looked like a cage thing, because the whole project fight and literally, it seemed like the whole project was there, right? And it was like a battle, right? We must have been fighting for I swear to you, it must have been like a half hour at least from the beginning to the end. And then that thing, it's like the only time I witnessed something like this, well, I shouldn't say that. I was, I'm sorry, I jumped around, I have to do this. In Shiroi, in Dakar, Senegal, there's a suburb, call it a suburb. It's called Shiroi. It's like the Bronx of Dakar, right? And I was taking a train. I was on a train with this guy coming from Shiroi down to Dakar, right? Because I was staying with this guy, right? And there was an incident on the train. It was rush hour, it was crowded. And some guy said, "Oh, what basically, I can't speak French." So I said, "What's going on?" I said, "Well, this guy picked his pocket and he got caught." And then it was like out of nowhere. It's like a judge, a jury, whatever. And I said, "Wait," I said, "There's a policeman right there. How come he doesn't?" He said, No, you don't want to do that, because if he's arrested, then the person that accused him of something, he's got to pay for him being in jail, like the food and all the rest of that stuff. So basically, and within minutes, there was a defense lawyer out of the crowd. Somebody for his defense, somebody a prosecutor, a judge, and they judged him guilty, right? Because it was right there. And these people, they moored him, as a South African term. They beat the stuffers out of him, got him off the train, and then beat him off the train, and like that. It was amazing. I was like, whoa, justice was done, right? Back to the South Bronx. So we had this fight, we exhausted. What happened during this whole thing? There was a code, for instance, his older brother was there. So his older brother became his corner man. The corner man makes sure everything's all right. I didn't have my older brother wasn't around, so I didn't have a corner man. However, promised this guy, he's like the toughest guy in the neighborhood. We're not our age range. Really, he like gangster at whatever years old. He became my corner man, because I sort of floated with different crowds, including his crowd. Don't worry about it. I've always done this. I floated with different crowds. So he became my cornerman. Now remember, promises told me. Now the thing is, when the fight was, when I finally, he's down, right? And there's this thing. It's called. It's like the Roman gladiators. Now you can imagine. I mean, we was in this like I can't explain. It's like this area, right? And people all over the place. It's like a coliseum. Everybody was there. So I look at promise. Your corner man tells you what to do. In other words, you can say, okay, blah, blah, you're done. Or if your corner man says, stomp him, you got to stomp him. Because if you don't stomp him, your corner's going to stomp you because the crowd's got to have the bread and service. The crowd has got to have this satisfaction, right? Now, I'm the kind of guy, like, when it's done, it's done. I don't go to no bloodlust or whatever have you. But then again, I don't want to be stomped. So I had to stomp him. Now, the rules of stomping is like, you stomp him, but there's this fine line. You can, remember, you can stomp him in the head. I'm just saying, you can, right? I don't remember, but I don't think I did that. Anyway, so because, promise said, then I had to stomp him. Okay, great. Done, not great, but it's done, right? Let me go back. Okay, so that's done. Let me just fast forward. Years, this is when I was living in Somerville, and I was traveling train from Penn Station. There was this, these two, come houses, two homeless cats in the subway. You see them all the time. They had some sort of beef. They had a fight, and this other guy got him down and started to stomp him, right? Now, there was no corner. There was only a few people. And at some particular point, when I thought it was enough, I told him, stop. It's over with. Right? So the guy stopped, right? And the guy that got stomped got a well with his head like that. Okay. I say all that to say this. The Drakester, the Canadian that didn't grow up in the culture, you don't know what's going on. You just stand down. I know it's a military term. You wasn't in the military. It's stand down. Stop. You done lost. Because if you continue, you're going to be stomped. Right now, you haven't been stomped yet. You just lost. You need to just lick your wounds, go back to, another day, and go back into your little lab, whatever you got to do, get fit. But if you continue on this road, and you can see this boy, look, Kendrick from the hood for real, not from Toronto, right? He gonna stomp you. Just saying, giving you a warning. A person that's been through the thing, has been involved, has also stopped it. I'm trying to stop you now, but of course, you youngins don't want to listen to nobody, which is fine. Now, this is Tuesday. This is what I talk about U.S. things. I just had to finish that because hopefully I don't have to do that no more. Tomorrow, Wednesday, I'll talk about the world kind of things. Thursday is audio drama day. Oh, I got something. Friday is what I missed or weaving together. I don't know, whatever happens during the week. Saturday is whatever comes to my mind. Sunday is a reading day. I read something. We riff off of that, or I riff off of that, because I talk at you now. You see, that's why the volume has to be whatever. And then on Monday is a me day. Talk about me and blah 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 blah. So now we're at a Tuesday. Now I got let me do this real. I'll try to be short. Just kidding. Reparations. I'm being short because the some woman, Presley, somebody from Boston. She's now the head of some committee that the black caucus, whatever, the politicians the black caucus that got a lot of people that's not from the hood sitting there in there now. It's not like the black caucus as you knew it as I knew it when it first started. Okay, let's leave it alone. It's more, people have other interests and they're using the blackness, to jump on to do their bidding, whatever have you. Well, she's revised some sort of committee, and they had something and they're going to try to revise this HR 40, which is, as you may or may not know, is a thing to study reparations. Oh, please stop it. We haven't studied it. It's like the project. Everybody knows what the deal is. We want to see the action. What's the results? Okay. Now, in my estimation, this is my analysis, right? I got I knew. Of course, I know my reparations. In fact, I showed you a thing, another video, where, when I was on the radio, I adopted the name, my middle name was Reparations, so this was Anthony Reparations Sloan. And you can see there's a postmark, this is like 2002, so leave that alone. So I'm saying, I like to say it this way, I know it's bona fides, but I have bona fides in the movement and in this. And yeah, Queen Mother Moore, I saw her a couple of times. I wasn't in that camp with her. Now, about that time, there's a group, I hate to say that, in Cobra, they were doing some sort of African-derived thing. But there's in Cobra. Anyway, so in Cobra, that was a group, right? But they were like, they were like the Black Hawks. They did the political. They try to get into get the political people to get the politicians to do right. Get HR 40 done. Let's put it that way, right? Then around 2016, that I can remember, I was sitting in Africa, and along came, I studied from the beginning. I saw Yvette when she started the thing she had with the Farrakhan people, right? And then I saw her walking with Irony, going to some Chicago thing. Then they got together, and then before I know it, Yvette was hanging out with the LA cat, the LA lawyer, and they went up to see Dr. Cosby. Got his book. You saw my book. I had an interview with Dr. Cosby. Anyway, the point is, up there in Kentucky, in Louisville, and they started American Descendant of Slavery, right? And it's like Cosby, the church, and I guess the lawyer is a lawyer, and Yvette, she went, worked on the Hill sometimes. So they get, it's American Descendant of Slavery, the institution. Makes sense to me, but as an academic, I shouldn't say that. I mean, let's make like I'm not. To improve, to be more accurate, it would be North American Descendants of Chattel Slavery. That would be the whole thing, but let's leave that alone. They called it what they called it, right? Shortly after that, then Tariq and the boys, the B1 Brigade, they jumped in there. Now remember, Tariq is very talented, right? Titles and stuff like that. So he said, yeah, he jumped in there, and they started to call it the Foundation of Black America. Tariq is a marketer, so he got the flag, and he's got the food there, all that stuff, okay? Then also shortly after that started rolling, then the Freedmen folk came along. Now Freedmen's been around for a while, right? But here's the thing. For the strategy, what you want to do, let's leave Cobra out of it, because they're the ones that had, remember there was a guy called Big Bird, because he had a yellow outfit, he got in trouble, because of course, AD got over his skin. He started to try to lay hands with the boy, He lay hands, and whoa, so he got something happened. He was working for Sirius Satellite Radio, and he got Sirius, that crew, that's what in Cobra crews like that. And he got fired, right? Now, he got fired, but he was like in Cobra, he had Nancy Pelosi on speed dial. So they were hooked up into the regular politicians. And what pissed them off is they were whatever they were, ripped off, they like the Black Caucus. Okay, you've been around, you ain't did nothing, what do you want to do? So, but the thing about ADOS, America, they set up chapters. They like NOS, you know what I mean? And they're doing the work that and Cobra should have been doing, but all over the country. So that's their function. That's their function. This is all my interpretation. B1, the Foundation of Black Americans, they're the ones on the internet. They be talking, they jabbing. There's the street fighters, you know what I mean? They don't, they do some action, but they're not, They do some stuff, right? And don't get me wrong, when the thing came up in California, they were there, Tariq is speaking and all the rest of that stuff. So they have their function as public kind of thing, but they're not the ground workers like the ground workers. I'm not saying they're not. They do it, but it's not. But they have other things. So they have another function, right? The freedmen, this is important, right? Let me put it on. They've been around for a while. I don't know a lot about them, but their stuff is remember, if you deal with reparations for the United States, already there were things set up right after the enslavement period, all through the Jim Crow, from the Freedmen Bureau. So that's already inculcated. Oh, big word. Sorry, the brother probably didn't know what it means, but inculcated in the fabric of the laws of the United States of North America. So you don't have to reinvent. So use that. So what I'm suggesting is this. Now, what I'm strongly suggesting is this. Right? But this is important. I'm tired of this. This is stupid. I got stuff to do. I'm an old guy. I don't have to do this no more. I done did what I did. This is another generation. You all got the mantle. You got the history. You know, it's like Kendrick and like that. He got the history. Now he has to now use the flag and improve on what's been done before. Fill in the blanks, if you will, right? So, what I'm suggesting, right, is ADOS does their thing. They do what they do, right? The B1 Brigade, you know, the foundational black men, they do what they do because of the profile already, they've sort of blown up. And because right now in Africa, there's the African Union, they're addressing reparations too, but it's for all of, you know, because every country has their thing to deal with whoever they're supposed to be dealing with. That's what ADOS was trying to tell people. Everybody said, "But you division, I don't go back, go to your country and fight the colonizer on that thing." That's what they're trying to say. Okay. So it's an important point right now that for the states, we do what we need to do in the states. And the two organizations that I can see that do this stuff in the states are ADOS and the Freedmen, right? The Freedmen, like I said, is rooted in historical law in the states. So you can use that to really, whether the groups get together, whatever, right? And so that's happened. But to me, there's certain things that have to be done. For instance, in dealing with the African Union, because they brought it up now, first thing I would say, look, whatever you deal with, because we have so much thing, the first thing we do, we need a free visa for all the diaspora Africans. You know, all the people, like I'm an American African. Africa is my real name. You know, so what happens is I should be a visa that I can go to any country in Africa, or the African Union, or country. Don't pay nothing, whatever have you. Any country in Africa, I got a visa. Put in my American passport right there. See that? That's just right there. Put it in any visa. I can go any place. I don't have to pay that. If I'm in South Africa and I'm going over to, say for instance, Mozambique, it costs a lot of money to cross that border and pay to that. You know, so that's what I'm trying to say. So that's the first thing. Africa, do that before, as you do this stuff. Just do that right away. Right away. No matter what's happening, say, look, as a gesture of bringing the diasporic Africans into the full visa-free thing. Now, of course, the people who can travel, those are people with money anyway, so you want them because those are business people anyway. So let me leave that alone. So you got that with African Union, you got that. Now let me get back to the other thing. So now, since things are in place, forget these study things, right? I don't know if it's ADOS or the Freeman folks, because they're doing this kind of thing, or maybe even B1 Brigade. What you should do, we're doing the reparations, but before you move, you know, as things are happening, the first thing we want, you keep on passing these bills for this, you give money out to that, any bill from now on that begins as an attachment to the bill. Now here's where the black caucus, you all want to do something. The amendment to the bill is that whatever the funds come, a certain percentage of that fund right off the top goes to reparations. You don't have to identify the people first. So in other words, if you've got a bill that goes with the thing, and it's I don't know math like that, but let me just say, you know, and I'll do it easy. And the bill is $100 or $100 million or $100 billion. Right away, I use 21%. 21% of that right off the top goes into reparations. We're not paying it out, we're going into reparations. And the custodian for that can't be anybody but somebody that has lineage in reparations. So if you want to put somebody into, and it can't be no Negro peon, no tethers, none of that stuff. It's got to be somebody that has I don't know, something like that. He said 21% right off the top, we can't do it. Then politics and exchanges and negotiation. So you can negotiate down to like, I don't know, 12%? Okay, 12%. Oh, that's too much. Even if you negotiate it down to 3%, I don't care. The point is, some percentage, because it's a statement, off the top has to go to reparations right away, even before you even identify people, because you've got to have that fund. You see, the payment has to start right now, so we know that it's serious. And as we advocate for that, and as we demand that, as we make sure that happens, then you can understand. That's, to me, is a political, is a thing. So that's it. That's Tuesday. I'll talk to you later.